What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kenzo for Life here, and today we're going to be talking about gaming's biggest flops, 5 games that tanked in 2025. You know, 2025 was meant to be the year gaming finally got its act together. We had new hardware, flashy new engines, and all these promises of incredible new worlds. So why does it feel like we're still wading through the toxic waste of the last few years? The cynical cash grabs, the launch is so broken, they're basically a beta you paid for, the pure, unadulterated disrespect for our wallets. Yep, it's all still here. So today, we're not just talking about recent releases. Oh no, we are sifting through the smoldering wreckage of an entire era of broken promises. We're counting down the 5 games that failed so hard, so spectacularly, that we're still talking about them here in 2025. These are the games that snatched our hype, our $70, and in one glorious case, our ability to even hear the term quadruple-A game without laughing, and tossed it all into a roaring dumpster fire. Kicking off our list is a different kind of tragedy. This isn't a loud, fiery explosion, it's more of a sad, quiet fizzle into nothing. I'm talking about the 2024 reboot of Alone in the Dark. This was meant to be the glorious return of the series that literally invented survival horror. They even got David Harbour and Jodie Comer. On paper, it was a guaranteed win. So, what happened? Well, everything. But also kind of nothing? The game wasn't terrible, it was just aggressively okay. It was the definition of a 6 out of 10 that had zero chance of standing out when games like Resident Evil and Alan Wake are absolutely killing it. The gameplay was fine but clunky. The story was fine but boring. And the scares might as well have been non-existent. The game launched and then poof, it was gone from everyone's memory. Its owner, Embracer Group, basically admitted in a financial report, calling the performance softer than expected. We all know that's corporate jargon for this thing bombed big time. Its peak player count on PC was a measly 1,628 people, and that number vanished almost overnight. Just a month after launch, the developer Pieces Interactive was hit with layoffs. Alone in the Dark didn't crash and burn, it just never even got off the ground. It's the perfect depressing example that in today's market, just being meh is a death sentence. A ghost of a game from a legendary series, now doomed to haunt the digital bargain bins of 2025 completely and utterly alone. Remember the hype for the MultiVersus beta back in 2022? It was amazing, a free-to-play Smash clone with Bugs Bunny and Batman. It was fun, it was well played, and over 20 million people jumped in. It was a sure thing. Then they pulled the plug, taking it offline for nearly a year to get ready for the full launch. When it reappeared in May 2024, the game we loved was dead. Instead, we got a greedy, confusing mess that felt engineered to annoy you into spending money. They butchered the progression system. Unlocking characters became a soul-crushing grind. The economy was a tangled web of currency designed to hide how much cash you were burning. They even had a bug that let you pay 10 real life dollars to get more lives in the single player mode. A bug. Sure. The community reaction was swift and furious. Everyone who supported the beta felt stabbed in the back. This new version was slower, clunkier, and just plain less fun, but way more interested in your credit card info. The result? A player exodus of biblical proportions. After a brief launch spike, the player count fell off a cliff, with PlayStation seeing a reported 70% drop in the first month. By early 2025, it was a wasteland, and in May 2025, exactly 1 year after its grand relaunch, they shut the servers down for good. MultiVersus isn't just a flop, it's a masterclass in how to murder your own game with corporate greed. You can have a smash hit, a killer roster, and millions of fans, and still run it headfirst into a brick wall if you forget how to make the game fun. Alright, before we get to our top 3, and trust me, these are some of the most beautiful disasters in gaming history, I gotta ask, what's the one game that completely let you down in the last year? What's your personal biggest flop? Let me know in the comments. And hey, if you're enjoying this little trip through gaming's graveyard, maybe hit that subscribe button. We perform these autopsies so you don't have to waste your cash. Now, back to the train wrecks. Oh, Skull and Bones. Where does a person even start? This game spent more than a decade lost in development hell. It started life as a DLC for Assassin's Creed Black Flag and somehow ballooned into a 200 million standalone thing. Then the CEO of Ubisoft, with a straight face, called it a quadruple A game to justify its $70 price. Quadruple A? What does that even get you? Apparently a game with less to do with the 10-year-old game it was based on. You can't even get off your ship for a sword fight. You can't really explore islands. The entire game is a mind-numbing loop of sailing to a dot on a map and holding a button to watch a cutscene of your crew grabbing stuff. It's a glorified resource gathering simulator. The game finally launched in February 2024 to a collective industry-wide groan. User scores on Metacritic sat at a dismal 3.1. Physical sales in the UK were less than a quarter of what Sea of Thieves, a similar game from 2018, sold at launch. Reports claimed it only drew in about 850,000 players at first, and that number included people on the free trial. By 2025, Skull and Bones is a punchline. It's the poster child for corporate nonsense, for the massive gap between what publishers sell us and what we actually get. Ubisoft says it's committed to a year 2 of content, but when your daily player count on Steam is sometimes in the low hundreds, who exactly are you making it for? This isn't just a flop. It's a legendary $200 million ghost ship sailing an empty ocean. This one just hurts. Rocksteady, the studio that gave us the Batman Arkham games, some of the best single-player adventures ever made. And they were told to make a live service co-op shooter. From the second it was announced, we were all thinking it. This is a bad idea. And boy, were we right. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was dead on arrival in early 2024. The missions were painfully repetitive. The story, which had you unceremoniously murdering the beloved heroes from the Arkham universe, was a slap in the face to fans. And the gameplay? A generic looter shooter grind for slightly bigger numbers, was the exact opposite of the handcrafted stories that made Rocksteady a legend. The market completely rejected it. Steam player numbers were embarrassing from day one and just got sadder, at one point dropping to just over 100 concurrent players. The financial fallout was insane. Warner Brothers admitted the game's failure led to a $200 million hit to its gaming division. In 2025, we've seen the consequences. Reports of major layoffs and canceled projects at Warner Brothers Studios, all stemming from this one massive misfire. Suicide Squad isn't just a financial disaster, it's proof of creative bankruptcy. It's a giant, flashing warning sign about what happens when an amazing studio is forced to chase trends that just don't fit. Nobody asked for this game, and its failure has forever stained the legacy of a once great developer. I know what you're thinking. Hey, that came out at the end of 2023. You're right. But let me be perfectly clear. No game, nothing in recent memory has defined a total catastrophic top to bottom failure more than the day before. Its collapse was so massive, so legendary, that its ghost has haunted every single bad launch since, making it the undisputed champion flop we are still roasting in 2025. This wasn't just a bad game. It was a lie. For years, this was one of Steam's most wish-listed games, promising a massive open-world zombie MMO. What we got was a buggy, small-scale extraction shooter made with cheap, preset assets. It wasn't an MMO. It wasn't an open world. It was a scam. The game launched to overwhelmingly negative Steam reviews, instantly becoming one of the worst rated games on the entire platform. But the real story, the reason it's our number one, is what happened next. A mere 4 days after launch, the developer, Fantastic, announced it was closing down forever. They said the game had failed financially and they just didn't have the money to go on. They took the cash and vanished. The studio disappeared. The game was yanked from stores, and the entire gaming community just stood there staring at the smoking crater where a developer used to be. The day before wasn't a flop, it was a fraud. It set a new terrifyingly low bar for the industry. It is the final boss of bad games, the ultimate cautionary tale, and without a single doubt, the biggest gaming flop of our time. So there you have it. 5 games, 5 beautiful moments to failure. From a quiet, forgotten reboot to the spectacular scam at our number one spot, these games are the result of all the worst trends in the industry. It's the live service fatigue, the greedy monetization, the marketing hype, writing checks the game could never cash, and just a basic disrespect for us, the players. It's a minefield out there, and you've got to be more careful than ever with your time and money. Here's hoping the rest of 2025 gives us something, finished or playable or fun. Is that too much to ask anymore? Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay frosty.